Hey, welcome the one person who's
Are
watching
we
live.
live on Facebook right now? Because I can't
Says,
get it up.
says we are, and that's what she said. Um,
I can't. No,
anyway,
I,
no, it says we're live. Says we're live on both platforms. I don't.
okay, that's weird. It does not want to come up on Facebook for me, but maybe I don't know where to look.
Well,
Okay.
we'll just give it a minute here. I assume the one person watching is you.
No, I can't get it up.
Oh, so one person. Hello, one person.
Hello, one person, whoever you are, because you're not me today.
Welcome to Sci-Fi. Still, it is 7 o'clock on Wednesday, and to this week we decided. I decided because, for lack of a better idea, we're going to just kind of go over all the new stuff that's out and about
And there's a lot of new
and there's a
stuff.
lot of stuff we were just talking about. It's like there's a lot of good sci-fi out there. So we're going to bring up maybe some stuff you hadn't heard of. Maybe you have. If there's something that you guys are aware of, maybe we don't mention, please put it in the chat because we always like to find new things. There's a lot of so many streaming services out there. There's some shows I think that we just get buried and we never hear of because they're just on an obscure streaming, but they probably were good shows. So anyway, but before we get into that, I think we got news. There's three people
We
watching
have a
now.
veritable. I still can't get it up on my Facebook. I have a veritable potpourri of news. So let me pull that up for you guys. All kinds of news tonight. First of all, can I just say that Marshall Lucas, former wife of George Lucas and editor of Star Wars, and other good movies, has passed at age 80. Marsha had a number of accolades in the editing industry, her most famous being the Best Editing Academy Award for 1977's Star Wars, which is an accolade that still doesn't really capture the extent of her work. This is the woman who edited Taxi Driver. She did American Graffiti. She had a little. She didn't really edit Raiders of the Lost Ark, but she had a little input on it. Yeah, and if you haven't seen Saved by the Edit, go now, run to YouTube and watch that. And it explains how Marsha saved Star Wars and Marsha designed, like Marsha created the Star Wars we know and love today.
Yeah, absolutely. She. I wonder if the Star Wars would have even had it, because if you watched what was the original edit, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it
so
was.
I wonder, if we would be here, talking about Star Wars, almost 50 years later, if she had done that.
Yeah.
So hey, Jeff's here. Bill's with us. Hey, Brian from Tampa. Thank you for joining us.
Hi guys.
So okay. Anyway, what else you got?
I got tons more. Last November, we learned that Amazon MGM was going to bring Stargate back. We were all excited, but now Variety has confirmed that the Stargate project has been axed at Amazon. According to trade sources, Amazon execs were concerned that the guy who was running it, his take on the series would not have broad appeal beyond the franchise's already dedicated fan base, which tells me he was really zeroing in on on Stargate lore, which to me sounds good.
Right?
Like, that sounds good. I don't know what you think, Rizzo.
I agree. I think that's where I think networks go wrong when they reboot things or they try to do spin-off shows. I think we've seen that over and over again where they just try to deviate too much and give too much people's free will, if you will, directors and creatives to do what they want and leave what worked.
Yeah.
Why these franchises are as popular. There's a reason those franchises were as popular. Stargate, I think, probably has some wiggle room. They did a lot of spin-offs that worked pretty well.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
So I think there's always room there. And the interesting thing is, if there was there's another, you could reboot it in a different way. There was actually 3 novels, I think, that were written based off the movie, not SG1, and they're completely different than SG1's continuation of the story, if you will. It's a completely different story of the Stargates, and kind of it does extend more. There's more activity on Abydos, that kind of thing. But it's an interesting different take. The Earth doesn't have all these friends, We try to fend off the baddies with space shuttles.
Yeah,
it doesn't really work very well. So anyway, but they were interesting books, but they weren't, again, they were not in the SG1. So I guess that's the thing, is it Stargate movie universe or SG1, which definitely SG1 drew right from the movie, but
it did. This doesn't specify, it just says Stargate TV series, so I don't know quite where it was. Atlantis, where was it? But it's been axed, so I guess we're not doing it.
Oh god, no, I was gonna say the other thing with Stargate is they did flesh out the whole Stargate lore so much.
Yeah, they really did.
They did,
I
don't know what else.
That show.
It was very good in its day.
In its day, it was good. It was fun. I really loved the universe. Okay, moving on. Speaking of something that got axed, that maybe we're glad that it got axed. The creative minds behind Star Trek the current new Trek, so let me be real clear on that, have revealed that the biggest regret has been not getting the chance to do an episode that would have explored what might have happened if James T. Kirk had decided to remain in New York with Edith Keeler. The original series show, City on the Edge of Forever, they wanted to do a spin-off on Strange New Worlds. They did plan to actually bring back Shatner for it. Strange New Worlds showrunners Akiva Goldsman, who has since, and Alex Kurtzman, but Akiva has, I think, since passed, had told Polygon, they confirmed that they've been working to make Shatner's return possible and had even penned a few scripts already for it. Strange New Worlds Season 4 will start streaming on Paramount Plus on July 23 without that episode, obviously because they decided not to do it. Rizzo, are you breathing a sigh of relief?
Yep.
Me too.
Again, it's like every time they go back to the original series and try to do something like this, I think it's more of a lame attempt to draw in our generation and and boomers, so to speak, that are fans of the original show. I think it's an attempt to pull those people over and say, "Oh, look! Oh, they did a thing isn't that cool?" But it just always falls flat to me. It doesn't seem sincere. It was like when Discovery did the Guardian of Forever.
And
I was literally throwing stuff at the TV because it was like, come on, that was so weak. It was just so lame. The way they did it was writing. It was so lame, and it was just, and they were just using it as a device to fix stuff. Like to fix their own bad writing, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So no, thank God they didn't do it. We know he couldn't stay with Edith Keeler. We knew that because it changed the entire universe.
Edith Keeler must die.
So for them to but here's the thing: for them to even think that Kirk would do that is the screw up.
For them to even think that Shatner would come back and do it.
Bill, I don't know. I can't say that whether Bill Shatner would do it or not, whether, it's a paycheck in it.
Yeah.
But not that he needs it. But I don't know if he would. I don't know how he feels. I really don't know how he would feel about it. But I just don't see as the character of Captain Kirk.
He
knew.
His ship.
He was. Yeah.
And
he would have lost his ship. All those people would be
and everything. But
but I mean, he wouldn't put the entire universe in peril or change it for his own personal. It's not working for me.
All right.
So anyway,
let's do
moving on.
Potpourri. In the potpourri section tonight, Silo season 3 is coming on July 3. One new episode every Friday, right through September. We have a new dinosaur movie that's not Jurassic anything. One of the summer kind of fun action movies this year is The End of Oak Street, starring Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. And yes, it has dinosaurs in it. We clearly see them in the trailer, so I don't think I'm spoiling anything for anybody. House of the Dragon season 3. Speaking of dinosaurs, dragons. House of the Dragon season 3 set to open with what they're calling the craziest episode of TV ever made. I will be the judge of that, House of the Dragon, because I've seen me some crazy TV. The Battle of the Gullet. I've not read any of this stuff, so I don't know what Battle of the Gullet is. That's all coming to us on June 21. We have 7, well, more than 7 if you count End of Oak Street. We have 7 new sci-fi and fantasy movies coming out in 2026. Masters of the Universe, Disclosure Day, Supergirl, The Dog Stars, Spider-Man Brand New World, Avengers Doomsday, and Dune Part 3. All of that coming to a theater near you this summer. Reports are claiming that They will be 2 Wolverines with Deadpool in Secret Wars. Everyone's hoping it's the Calvarine. That would be awesome. The creator, an older sci-fi movie, is a cult hit described as Rogue One meets Blade Runner. That's leaving Netflix, guys, on June 20. So if that's something you're interested in, watch it before it leaves. Star Wars Starfighter, starring Ryan Gosling, has wrapped filming and is now in post-production. Its release date is set to May 28th. Finally tonight, Rizzo, you sent this article to me. Let's discuss it. We now have word that a new take on John Carpenter's Escape from New York. Now, this is from the part of the news that I call Back to the Well. We're going back to the well. John Carpenter's Escape from New York is officially moving ahead at Studio Canal. The project now has a director. THR reports that Zack Snyder, yes, of the Snyder version, Justice League, Man of Steel, Rebel Moon, will write and direct. And this is with Stone Quarry Production Company. Okay, great, whatever. But John Carpenter is on board as an executive producer. And of course, there are always rumors. There are rumors that Kurt Russell will come back to reprise Snake Plissken. What do you think about that, Rizzo? Good, bad, or indifferent?
So is it a sequel or a remake?
No one knows.
Well, how can you have Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken if it's a remake, unless Snake Plissken is now?
Well, he could. Yeah, it would have to be a sequel because he's old, and he'd have to just pop in and be like, "Yeah, I used to do this."
Oh, he's not. He's not. Oh, so he's just so he. So it's not. It's not a remake of the original story. Then it's like a. It's like Mad Max Fury Road, kind of. It's adjacent.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Kurt. Yeah. Okay.
Well, first of all, I love Kurt Russell. I mean, he's just been such great stuff over the years. Does the question? It begs the question again, though. Does this movie need to be remade? The attraction of the original movie wasn't that great a movie. It was the camp.
No, it was bad. And
it was the camp of the movie that people loved. It was so campy, and he was such a cartoon character.
Well, yeah, if John Carpenter's on board, maybe they're going to recreate that. So will that play to the modern audience? We all got that. This is what I'm saying.
So you'd have to do something to make it even marketable. You'd have to do like what they did with Judge Dredd, where you had the Stallone version, which was kind of tongue in cheek and goofy,
and then
they had the Carl Urban version, which was also very good, but it was very dark and very serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think if they do that, if they say, okay, but we're going to take the camp out of it. We're not going to try to be the original movie and just be another kind of retelling of this story in a very serious, dark way.
Yeah.
It might work if it's done well.
Mary Sotak is saying that going back to the well is not necessarily bad if it's done well. Unfortunately, it
well.
Is. Mary,
a lot of wells in there.
A lot of wells in there. I don't disagree with that at all. I think that's accurate. It's seldom done in a way that satisfies the viewers. I mean, I guess Top Gun Maverick, we all kind of
the Top Gun Maverick was all right.
We rolled with that. We were like,
it was okay. It was good. It was entertaining. It was about what you expected. It wasn't.
It was about what you expected.
I mean, was that going back to the well? That was really. I mean, it was in the sense that it was a sequel.
It
wasn't a remake.
We dragged back Iceman.
So, I mean, what's our definition of the well? Is it remaking or is it sequeling?
Yeah,
I guess
that's a good
combination, or some. So I think it would have been worse if like they didn't have Tom. I was gonna say Tom Hanks.
Not Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Sorry. Got my Toms mixed up. But if you didn't have him, you know what I'm saying? And I think it was great that they got Val Kilmer in there. It would. I don't think it would have been. It wouldn't be the same movie. Like if they tried to make the same movie, but now it's like it's Maverick's gone and it's his son or something. Just like
exactly.
He was. It would have been.
Have bemoaned Hollywood's recent. Maybe it's not recent. Maybe Hollywood's always done this our entire lives, and we just didn't notice it until now. Hollywood loves to go back to the well. That's their favorite thing to do ever. Like, why come up with something original when I could just keep spiffing?
Well, because it's a money grab. Because they know that certain franchises people are going to go see they're going to get a certain amount of money regardless of how bad it is. I think
Oh,
they're
wait,
starting
put
to
this-
learn that that's
put
not
this comment
necessarily
up.
the case.
Bill just said that Wrath of Khan was going back to the well. I don't know, man. That was an original screenplay for them.
You mean the original Wrath of Khan, or are we talking about the JJ Trek version?
Oh yeah, what are you talking about, Bill?
Which
We're not
one are you
talking
talking about?
Khan, are you?
I
'Cause
thought
JJ
actually, I
Trek
think,
was
I
going
think,
back
I
to the
think
well.
to put the original with to Will, we're talking about the original Wrath of Khan, you know, the 80 whatever version.
Well, now we just got a series.
That
If
was
you
that
have a
was
series, like the Godfather series. Is that going back to the well?
no, of
Or
course
is
not.
that,
I mean, that was, of course, the
the
first two
original
movies.
Star Wars trilogy was that.
One
going
could
back?
argue that Godfather 3 was, because the first two came out pretty like not back to back, but they were like within a few years of each other.
They were filmed.
They were designed to be. I mean, they weren't designed, but when the first one was so popular, they immediately made the second one, and the second one was almost as good as the first one. So it wasn't, you know, it was the one that won 2 Academy Awards. They both won Academy Awards for Best Picture.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of a hard one to say it was a well. But the thing with Wrath of Khan was, I mean, that was great because it was a nice connection to the original series. Having that in. And you know what? Listen to the Trek experts, because they'll talk about this. Nobody gave a crap about Space Seed as far as the fans go. Like, it was never a top 10 or top 20 episode on their list until after the Wrath of Khan. So the original, the episode itself was never that popular in the 79 episodes.
I don't know why it wasn't popular.
It is, but I guess. But here's I think what made. But if you look at the whole Khan as an arc, we have Space Seed, we have Wrath of Khan, then we have Search for Spock, and the Voyage Home. They're all connected.
Yeah, they are.
That's all one story arc.
There's a running theme going through all those. Yeah. We should establish a definition for Back to the Well. I think Back to the Well is when something is made it, saw it, it's done. And it can you can let it lie now. There's no reason to go back and start messing with that anymore. That to me is Back in the Well. And there's like Princess Bride. Don't go remaking that. That's done. I think Snake Plissken Escape. That's done. Don't go be doing that again. It's done. But when you have like a series, an ongoing series.
I think they are, you're right. They're getting lazy. And I think it's because, here's the thing. There's another whole discussion that we could have. Is I think cinema, in the sense where people go to the theater, buy popcorn, and sit down, is dying. And the numbers are showing it. People aren't going. And what's one of the trends now that they're trying is getting some of these popular YouTube producers to actually make feature length or short films, because that's what the younger generation is used to, these 5-minute, 20-minute little things, not sit there for 2 hours. Now, I think one of the biggest problems movies have had is movies that have gone over 2 hours. These 3-hour epics are ridiculous. Long movies, They're ridiculous.
In case you guys are curious, Grogu was strong last weekend. Mandalorian and Grogu, it collapsed this second weekend.
I haven't even seen it yet.
So, I haven't seen it yet. My sister-in-law loved it, but she loves anything Star Wars.
I've heard very mixed things. Some people really liked it. Some people thought it was just
some people like, no, this was just it was just another episode. That's what I heard. It's just another episode.
So, Disney needs to really have some with Star Wars. They need to have some inward thinking.
Yeah.
So.
And so does Star Trek.
And so Star Trek has a lot of inward.
And so do the people making the new Snake Plissken movie. You guys need to do a
Snake Plissken movie. Like I said, I think if you completely, the only way I think it would even work is if you cannot try to remake the original. It'd be like trying to remake Big Trouble in Little China. It wouldn't work.
But honestly, it was almost like this latest Indiana and the Dial of Destiny. It's like, okay, we're done, guys. We're done.
Yeah, stop. I mean, actually, that one I know a lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was better than.
Well, I hated the Aliens one more.
The Crystal Skull was the worst one. I actually thought Dial of Destiny was better than that.
But Dial of Destiny was 100% fan service.
But if you play video games and you want that indie fresh, play the game, the Great Circle. It is very good, and the guy that voice acted, I know I said this before, is so scary, spot on Harrison Ford. You think you're watching a movie again. So anyway, I just throw that out there.
All right. That's all I got for news tonight. Rizzo, are we drinking anything?
We got something. I figured since The Boys just ended, this is a cocktail called
am I going to have superpowers if I drink this?
Well, if you drink enough of them, you'll think you do.
You think you do.
The rum, blue curacao, lime juice, soda water, mint leaves, and blueberries. Really, and a lime wheel. It's really pretty summer cocktail. Like you get your rum, I assume that's Bacardi since it just says rum. I assume it's white rum. And blue curacao doesn't have a huge lot of flavor. It's citrusy, but it's there for color. So lime juice. So yeah, you could probably, if you wanted to make it even sweeter, you could probably substitute that for the soda water for like ginger ale, something like that.
I love how 6 blueberries, not 7, not 5. 6
Specific.
blueberries.
Got to be 6. Shouldn't it be 7? Right?
I will not drink this compounded cocktail
because if it's about the 7 from the boys.
Yeah, you know what? Actually,
should be 7 blueberries.
Now that
anyway, I didn't make it up. I just steal the stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, all right. Anyway, so new sci-fi that is coming out. Well, let's start with The Boys since that just ended. We'll do the 2 that just ended, which is The Boys and For All Mankind. So The Boys, they're what 5 seasons? Is that what I'm right?
5 seasons for The Boys.
5 seasons for The Boys.
We're on 5 now for All Mankind. So
yeah. So there's one more For All Mankind. So The Boys, those of you guys don't know, this is sort of a dark, I'll call it superhero story, where the scientists have invented basically a drug that will give people superpowers, and some of them are very bizarre superpowers. So this, if you guys have never seen it, it is not for the faint of heart. If you do not like gore, shock video, there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of weird sexual stuff. It's weird. So, but the one thing I will give these guys, first of all, Carl Urban plays the main character of Butcher. He's trying to. It's basically it's a tale in corruption, fascism in a lot of ways. It's a tale where absolute power corrupts absolutely. And so Butcher plays the main character. He's trying to stop these guys, even though they act like they're superheroes, but they're really not very nice in their private life. They're not very nice people. So Carl Urban plays that main character, and he plays it amazingly well. But again, each season, like you watch the first season and there's shock value to it. Like you're like, oh, I don't believe they just did that. And each season you're like, they can't get any worse. And Amazon's like, hold my beer.
Pretty much. Yeah. Amazon was like, Krypton, you have carte blanche. Go ahead and do what you want.
It's like unbelievable, some of the stuff that they do. And it's just, some of it's hysterical, some of it's disturbing. But it is very graphic. So that's all I'm going to say. I thought the show was great. I thought the story was actually very good. Even taking out the goriness. It wasn't just there. Well, it was gratuitous, I guess, to some degree. But it did fit. It did fit what was going on. Like I don't think it was usually done just to have it in there. Some of it probably. It's got a very good cast. Of course, our good friend Giancarlo Esposito is in there. He also has a major. He plays kind of the CEO. Giancarlo. I know you just like to say his name. So he plays. He plays basically Frank, like he did on Breaking Bad. He's basically kind of the same character. But then So I don't know. What do you've seen it? I mean, what are your opinions on this? Yeah,
loved it. There was social commentary woven in there that would just like sing ya, like, you know what I mean? Like it was just,
some of it's very poignant.
Some of it's very poignant. Some of it was very pointed. I loved that show. I'm sad it's gone. I know there's some spin-offs, but I don't hold that much hope.
There was at least, there's one that's done that was called Gen V, which is like a college. It was more for the millennial type or Gen Gen Z, but was called Gen V for the V is the drug that gives people these powers. So there was like a basically university of superheroes, and they had their own. It was connected kind of loosely to the main storyline.
Yeah, they were woven in.
They did kind of make some connections in the last season. There's supposed to be another show coming out as well, right? It was
The Boys in Mexico or something?
Mexico, which seems really weird.
So yeah,
because they implied that like the United States was the only country that had these superheroes, like because we invented the drug or something.
You know what? That's a really good question.
Because there was like an episode where they were talking about how like there was like some terrorists in the Middle East got some of the drug, and they went our guys, our superheroes went over there just take them out. They're just to get rid of them right away, kind of thing. But
I don't remember.
yeah, they kind of implied that at least you never saw like, oh, this one's from England or something. They're all pretty much Americans.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really kind of gets down into a weird, kind of starts to spiral down into that kind of totalitarian state thing going on. So the guy that plays the main bad character, which is named Homelander, that's his superhero. He's like almost omnipotent superpower. He's like Superman. He can do just about anything. Nobody can touch him, and he's a huge egomaniac. Have you seen that actor though was in another show earlier called oh, what the heck is it? It was on, I think it was on, was it on Prime?
Anthony Starr. What else were you in, Anthony Starr?
He was in, let me tell you, it was a pretty good show actually, but Banshee, it's called, that's just the name of a town, not the ghost or whatever. Spectre of it's called Banshee. That's what it was, my show. And it was basically, he plays kind of a bad guy that kind of accidentally kills a cop and then takes his place.
Oh,
and so it's interesting. He's the kind of the anti-hero in the show. So it's a good show. I recommend watching it if you like that sort of thing. But you watch that and then you see him as Homelander. Of course, he's got the frosted tips kind of thing, that whole blonde, whatever. It doesn't look, but it's the same actor. And it just, you're kind of like, okay, that doesn't seem
if you look around, there are test shots of him out there with an early version of the suit, and his hair is a lot browner. And I was like, yeah, they did the right thing.
Natural color. Yeah, no, he's not normally that blonde. He's like brown hair. So anyway, so that's The Boys. That just ended. It's 5 seasons. So you can go binge that if you really, want to waste a weekend, rainy weekend, go ahead and
go
knock it out, but just lock in because it's going to be it's a ride.
Lock the kids out because it's not for children.
Not for children. Make sure the safety bar is down when you watch the show.
Yes.
So
make sure your seat back is in its full upright position and the tray tables are stored because it's a plane crash.
Yeah, and it has plane crash. So, all right. So the other show that just recently ended, well, not ended, but at least its season recently wrapped, which is For All Mankind, which our good friends Mike and Denise Okuda are the technical advisors on.
Yeah.
And this has been a great show since the beginning. We've talked about it before. The premise, of course, is what if the Russians had beat us to the moon?
Yes,
by days, literally, like it was like very close. And how that changed history. And the space race didn't end; it continued into the 2000s. And it's interesting because one of the neat things that they do on this show is each season, as it starts, they give you this the first episode, they give you this kind of montage of because it jumps like about 10 or 15 years each season. And they give you kind of this montage of what's happened, and you see things that we're very familiar with.
Yeah.
And other things that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But
at least it anchors you in time. So
but it gives you an idea of the differences. Now, this is just, of course,
it's this time we're with Clinton and Bill Clinton and all those guys. Okay, now it's this time and we're with
but it's like different people were president. Something like that. There's like different, like I think Al Gore actually won in 2000.
Yeah, I think there was an Al Gore montage,
so there's that kind of thing. So they kind of mix it up that way, which is really cool. At first, I was like, the first time I heard about it, I was kind of like, I don't know, alternate history. But once you kind of watch it, because it really starts right out with, you think it's the Apollo 11 landing, and then you realize it's the Russians.
Yeah, it sucks you in with the historical details. But then, of course, as the seasons go by, we're diverging more and more from history. I mean, they still try to anchor it back. But more and more stuff is happening in space. It's so divergent, but it sucks you in. And next thing you know, oh yes, we're going to Mars. Okay.
Yeah. So eventually they move. Yeah, we moon base. It goes pretty much, moon landing, moon bases, political unrest, and then the race to Mars, and then developing,
we're
excuse
on
me, a
Mars.
colony on Mars, and then of course rebellion on Mars.
And then rebellion on Mars. Yeah.
A lot of people, some of the people, if you look on Reddit and stuff like that, they're kind of complaining that they got away from the exploration part of the show.
Well,
and
that's
more
why
of
they
this
did the
political
Titan thing, but I don't feel like it was
politics. Yeah, this last season seemed a little heavier on the politics side of stuff and less on the exploration.
And like the relationship, like, yeah, the kid, Ed's grandson, and his girlfriend and their involvement in all the politics. Yeah, so it was like, yeah, part of it. Some of, I mean, it was still good. Like,
yeah, no, it was good.
Okay, whatever, but it was still good.
I think it does need to wrap though, because I'm like, where do you start taking it now? You know what I'm saying? You colonize Mars. You know, what are you going to do? You guys.
The guy that plays Ed, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head, he did a Reddit Ask Me Anything, and most of the questions had the picture of the Futurama head in a glass head in the bell jar.
Oh no, we know he died.
Next season.
Yeah, he his name is Joel Kinnaman.
Joel Kinnaman. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
So yeah, he was one of the longest as far as, I mean, there's been several, characters that have been steady throughout the entire show, but he's certainly one of them. Of course, spoiler alert, he does pass away because he's like in his 80s. Yeah, he's in his 80s. They did a really nice job of his death, by the way, as far as honoring this man who is, was the first American on the moon. No, he wasn't. I think Armstrong still was. He was going to. So it starts with.
They referred to it. He was in one that got botched, and he had to pull the.
No, he was. So he was like Apollo 10 that was just supposed to fly the LEM around the moon and never land. And I know this was a real thing that they were. Like the astronauts, they asked them, did you consider just going for it? You know what I'm saying? And landing and, and not following which of course they all say, no, we would never do that. But in this character, he plays Ed Baldwin, who he's flying the LEM around the moon. And this is before the Russians landed. And he's like, I could see it. I can just do it. I can go and we'll be the first one. I think they realized the Russians were close.
Yeah.
And then they didn't because they were going to wait for Apollo 11. But between Apollo 10 and Apollo 11, the Russians landed. Now, in reality, the Russians weren't anywhere near a moon landing.
I mean, we thought they were because
we were way ahead of them.
But which informed then his daughter's storyline when she goes to Titan and she kind of jiggers the system to make him go to Titan.
Right. Again, that was part of her.
She's like, my
dad always
his whole life, and then
her dad always regretted not just going for it. But we all know, and I'm sure Doc would have backed this up, that no astronaut would ever
jigger the system.
Deviate this. That's true Hollywood drama.
That's we needed it for the story to happen.
So, well, she paid for it, kind of, when you think about it. Yeah. Well, she's dead.
They landed.
Or we assume she died.
Yes, I might be missing an episode.
Spoiler. You didn't see the last episode? The very end of the last.
I might have missed the last episode. Did Kelly die? What? I don't remember.
Okay. Spoiler alert.
I'll watch it. It's all good. But anyway, so that's For All Mankind. But its sister spin-off show now starts it. Have you seen
I have seen the first 2 episodes. I think that's all there is, right?
Okay. Really. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a lot more depressing.
It's definitely okay. So this is the same story, but from the Russians' point of view.
Yep.
And it starts right back with the Apollo era, so to speak, for lack of a better word, with Vostok and Soyuz and all those crafts. And it shows you, I don't know how accurate it is, as far as I assume it's pretty accurate, but it's living in Soviet Union where everybody's watched and they literally have everything bugged, and they have people listening 24 hours a day, listening to people. Not every citizen,
but they sent a team to listen to them while they were in Paris. Yes.
Yeah. So they pretty much followed. So they followed up the first moon landing with a first female on the moon, first woman on the moon. So that was like the next episode. And of course, she kind of started babbling something that was not written down for her. So they literally were going to replace her with a lookalike and say it was her. Because figure most people wouldn't be able to tell, especially back then with crappy
Yeah,
video and stuff. Most people would, because the woman they picked really did look a lot like.
Yeah, they did. When she got into that back of that truck van, I was like, oh, yeah. I knew right
So
away.
anyway,
I was like, oh god, I know where this is going.
So it's definitely a darker. Do you notice though, like, so when they were at Star City, which is Star City is where it's like the version of Russia's Houston, I guess. It's always the colors are very muted. Everything's kind of it's in color, but you'd almost swear it was in black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. There's color in there. It's just everything's very muted and grays, and they're doing that on purpose to show you how miserable it is. Because when they go to Paris, all of a sudden there's these bright reds and it's
jazz
vibrant.
Yeah,
it was like much more vibrant. Of course, they're trying to show you the difference between Western culture and what it's like to live in the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
and everyone's ratting each other out. Like it's just it's gonna be season after season of sheer depression.
It's not, that's my point. I was concerned that I'm like, because the other one, it was kind of depressing.
Americans are like hopeful, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but there was like more action going on and stuff. Yeah, it was just like, did you get to this one? And it's just like it's like 1984 over there, literally.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So I don't know how long. Yeah, well, interesting to see how this goes. And how they're going to bring in characters.
Interesting to see how long Mary Beth can keep up with it, because and here's the weird thing is I love me some good depressing stuff. I really do. But this one just
I love being depressed.
Woo, this one's a little bit much.
That was like the HBO did this special on Chernobyl. Have you seen that?
Oh God, yes.
I couldn't watch more than I watched like 2 episodes of it, and I'm like, this is so depressing. I can't watch.
I bailed on that one too. I knew like where it's going, and you're just like, oh God, all these people died.
It's like, it was not a feel good movie.
All these people die, and the Russians covered it all up.
So that's what I'm afraid that might happen with this, is that people will lose interest in it because it's so dark, and it's not. It's very depressing. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll give it a shot. I will give it a shot. And Mike and Denise Okuda are also technical advisors on this one.
Yeah, they are. They absolutely are. Unless they're going to give us some hints on how to live under a totalitarian regime, then I might tune in. But I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll see.
But anyway, we'll give it a shot. I prediction, Great Karnak. I don't see it going 6 seasons.
I don't either.
I
don't either. I don't think it has.
I predict 3 seasons of it. Only because I think they're going to burn out. Because once I think they get to the point where, because by the time they get to Mars, they're working with the Americans.
Yeah,
there's that whole M6 thing. So
like they're gonna bring it right up to where what's his name is the governor of Mars, right? The Russian guy.
I don't know. I have no idea what their plan is. And I'm
because they can't deviate now because they are the sister show. From,
no, they have to. Yeah, they can't.
They have to follow For All Mankind.
Right. Yeah. So they have to follow the same. They
better happy up because the things get better eventually in For All Mankind. So they have to get better in Russia. I mean, that's just the way it is. I don't remember.
And that's a point. That's a good point, though. That's a difference that the Soviet Union never collapsed in the early 90s like it did in reality. It's still in existence into the 2000s.
Yes, I was actually just thinking about that. What in the fake history part of For All Mankind? What does happen to the Soviet Union? I don't remember.
It's still there.
It's still there.
It's still there and operating. We just don't get a lot of insight. The only time we got insight into it
was when
For All Mankind was when Margot was over there helping them, and
it was
the other Russian lady. So I mean, it's clearly still not a happy place.
No, but I can't do 6 seasons of that. Sorry.
So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. I think it's a bold attempt, but I don't see it going 6 seasons.
I don't either.
All
right.
So that brings us. What else we want to? So I want to point out something. Apple has been kicking. Knocking stuff out of the park. They've been
Apple is killing it.
They have been doing, and I have yet to say. I know a lot of people like Severance. I just couldn't get into it. But everything else I've watched on, and not just their sci-fi stuff, a lot of their other shows have been great.
They've had so many good shows.
I mean, have you watched Ted Lasso?
Yes, I have seen Ted Lasso. Loved Ted Lasso.
Well, I mean, how do you not love Ted Lasso? It's just a good show. It's just a happy show. Exactly. If you want to be happy, go watch Ted Lasso. The other one that's kind of in that same sort of vein is Shrinking.
Yes, I watched Shrinking.
Shrinking is also very good. Again,
Yes.
we
And
like
it's fun to see
we
Harris.
also, just while we're on this Apple side, we also like Our Friends and Neighbors with John Hamm is good. And then what else have we been watching? There's been a whole little bunch of little shows that were pretty
I'm
good.
telling you guys, Apple TV is killing
Yeah, I'd
it.
say right now them and Prime probably have the best stuff.
I mean, it used to be. Do you remember back? It used to be HBO. Everything good was on
Yeah,
HBO, and
HBO now.
now
HBO does have some. The Pit is good. There are some stuff. Of course, I'm a big fan of John Oliver. Um, but anyway, just swinging back. Yeah, so Apple has another new show called Widow's Bay. It is very. This is the first season. I think we're almost through the first season. Probably what,
yeah, I think it's
7 or
10
8.
episodes, and we're on
Yeah,
7 or 8.
so we're
Yeah.
almost there. It's very Stephen King-esque. It takes
But
place in this New England little island that is cursed.
yeah,
They don't really say where it is. I thought it was
no, they
Maine.
don't
You said it was
specify.
Maine, Massachusetts. I don't know. It doesn't
It's
really
filmed,
matter.
yeah, it's filmed in Mass. I don't actually know which state it's off of.
It's
Yeah,
supposed
Maine
to be
is
a New England. It's clearly a New England little island off of the New England coast somewhere.
But you're right. It is very, very Stephen King coded, but it has a wicked sense of humor.
It does. It's funny and kind of horror funny in a way.
Horror funny, yeah.
It's
And
quirky.
very
At first,
quirky.
I was unsure. I'm like, "What is this show?" It's
Clues
weird.
everywhere, stuff woven in everywhere. If you don't want to pay attention, just look at the paintings in the background. Sometimes all kinds of clues in the paintings. It's one of those smart shows that's layers and things woven in and stuff going on. And the funny thing about the show is it jumps like there's the old history episode with
Yeah, there's the one that kind of goes back to the guy that
Warren.
founded the
And
island.
then there was
So
the
to speak.
episode where what's her name went crazy and threw the party. And there's the episode where he's like, each episode is kind of different, and yet it all kind of weaves together to tell this story. Wow, it's a brilliant show. I am
And
very
there's some humor and disturbing stuff, like the whole thing with the sea hag.
yes,
That was very disturbing.
clown when he was in the crawl space with the clown. Oh,
there's the serial killer clown guy.
Yeah.
Who's a ghost
So
now.
good.
This is all stuff that happened in the past, but they recur. This whole island is cursed. And they say if you're born there, you can't leave. If you leave, you die. Basically. That's kind of so. There's
if you leave,
and
you die.
and the basic plot is there's this guy who's the mayor, who's kind of this nerdy guy who's trying to get the town as a tourist spot, like a Nantucket, the next Nantucket. Or and so he's trying to do events and get people to come to the island. And there's the one old crotchety guy, the actor he's been in a ton of stuff.
Stephen Root, yeah,
he's been in a ton of stuff. He's so funny, but he's like telling them you're crazy. It's just going to end up with people getting killed. Then he's trying to tell them the whole lore of the island, and of course he's not buying it until he actually starts experiencing a lot of it.
And did you see Stephen Root? Well, we had already met him, but the scene where he comes to the mayor's office and there's the chalkboard with the
shark.
Like there's so many Jaws references.
There's a lot of Jaws references. Yeah, there's a lot of
good.
Jaws
It's just so good. Yeah, guys, if you can go check out Widow's Bay. 10 episodes. 10?
Yeah, I think it's 10 episodes.
Smart television.
Drops on Wednesday nights on Apple
Wednesday
TV.
nights. I love TV that's well written, and this is a great example.
Yeah, this one again. I was kind of off the trailer, and I was kind of like, I don't know. We'll see. We're kind of always like, what do you want to watch? I don't know. What do you want? Well, let's just try it.
We just started by comparison. We started Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen, which is another Duffer Brothers one, and it's more straight horror, and it's not as clever. It's not as much fun to watch. At least Widow's Bay keeps you watching, keeps you looking for stuff in each scene. The others. Yeah,
I think you brought out a good point. Each episode's kind of different.
Yeah,
it's like a little different take. I mean, it's not like a different angle. It's the same characters, but like these weird things happen.
Yeah,
and you're kind of like, and I thought this last episode, it seemed like it could have been the last episode. Not to give any spoilers away, because it just seemed like kind of a climax, but there's still there's still two more. Apparently, there's still at least 2 more episodes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're right. You know what? You're right. Once they gave the history and then the show after that, it kind of felt like it could have ended.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. It's all good.
We'll see. Maybe it was meant to be a 1-season show. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. It's filmed, and those of you who curious, it's filmed all over Massachusetts. It's filmed in a number of towns, both on the sea and inland here in Massachusetts. And it's been great fun for me as a Massachusetts native to go, I think I know where that is. Oh, I know where that is. I think I know what that is. I think I know what that is. So
it's always neat. It's like when they shot part of Fallout right in Glens Falls.
Oh yeah, that's right. And you're like,
they used the gas station, the Red Rocket. This was the Red Rocket. Yeah. So another great show, but we've talked about, we did a whole show on Fallout. So
we did Fallout.
We won't bring up Fallout, but Fallout is still, and they're supposed to be having a Fallout reality show.
Yes.
Spinoff, which is, I don't know how that's going to go.
We'll
they're going to basically, lock a bunch of people up in a vault, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not going to lie. I have not seen a reality show in easily 10 years.
I never watched them. I haven't think I've watched them since The Real World on MTV back in the 80s or 90s or whatever the heck it was. They're all fake. That's the problem. They're not, none of them are real.
None of them are real. Yeah. All right. What else were we going to talk about tonight? I think
we were going to talk about, the last one we had on our list was The Boroughs, which is a Duffer Brothers.
Stranger Things for grown-ups.
Which is Stranger Things for with old people instead of
the Cocoon meets Stranger Things. The Boroughs will give you hope that even people our age could still have an adventure. That's what I took away from The Boroughs. I'm old, but I could still go out there.
I haven't watched all of it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen all of it? Okay.
No, I'm only up to pretty much the big reveal episode, which whatever that number was. So so this is basically, it's about an adult community, if you want to call it that, out in the desert. We assume it's like Nevada or Utah or something like that. And there's some shenanigans going on with creatures and people dying and stuff like that. So these group of old folks decide they're going to investigate and figure out what's going on. It's all tied to the community and the owner.
Folks and Gina
Davis, who's 70, so she's not.
And she gets the young guy. She gets the good-looking guy.
Yeah, she looks pretty good. I guess, and she has work. She's had work done.
She's speaking a little bit.
Well, she always had kind of an odd voice, but it's more pronounced. I think maybe because she's had a little bit of this going on.
Oh, maybe, yeah. That could be. Oh, and side note, and Rizzo and I both discussed this before. Alfred Molina plays in this, and I don't think Bruce Playfair is watching tonight, but
no.
Alfred Molina looks like Bruce Playfair.
I think he does. Looks like Bruce, what Bruce would look like when he gets older and he put a beard on him.
This is what you're going to look like when you get older. The eyes, it's in the eyes.
Like, it's in the eyes and the... Yeah, if you put a beard, I agreed. We came to that conclusion independent of each other.
Yes, independent of each other.
And I brought it up to Alex, who's good, obviously good friends with Bruce. She didn't agree with me, so she didn't think she didn't see it. But I said, well, she didn't watch the show. She only saw
it's just the show. I've seen Alfred Molina in tons of other stuff. He don't look like Bruce Playfair, but there's something about this show.
I agree. I thought the same thing. So, but it's good show, and it did have it. Well, the cast is interesting because it had
Bill
Pullman in it for like one episode.
Yeah, 1.5 episodes.
But some of the other people are kind of.
It has Alfred Molina and Alfred Woodard.
And every time I see her, all I keep wanting to hear her say is, "John Luke, blow up the damn ship."
You broke your little ship. Yep.
You broke your little ship.
Great cast, amazing cast. Amazing cast, and it's only 8 episodes, and they move the story along and wrap it up. And if it's only one season, like if this thing doesn't get another season, we are one and done in it, and it's got a little hanger at the end, but that's okay. Nothing. And it's just a wonderfully great self-contained story. And you know what? I kind of love that. I don't need 6 more seasons.
I think that we've talked about that. I think that was the biggest problem with with Stranger Things is it went on too long. It went on too long, and I think that's when it just and of course there was also the biggest problem where they had 2 years.
They had 3 years off in the middle.
3 years between seasons, which just the kids were having babies and sending them off to college by the time they got around to finishing up the show. But Yeah, Bill, you got to watch it. Don't just look at the
You
pictures
don't
of
just
it.
look
You
at a
don't. You got
picture.
to
You gotta
watch it,
watch
Joe.
him
I think you'll see a little
action.
bit of Playfair in there.
You'll see Playfair, yeah.
An older one. Give it like in 10 years.
Somebody else watch and tell me.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, we just came. Like I said, we both had the same reaction. So I don't know. But anyway, it's worth watching. I haven't finished it yet. I think I only got like it's only like 8 episodes, right? I think so. I think I got like 1 or 2 left.
Yeah.
To watch.
I'm actually frozen on Facebook. I can see and hear you now, but
you're frozen on my side too.
Oh, that's weird. That's great. Okay, I'm frozen.
Well, at least it's not a completely unattractive picture. Like you're not like in the middle of a sneeze or something.
The picture on Facebook's not that good looking.
Now you're moving. You're moving again. You're now animated once more.
Okay, that's good.
So that's kind of what we were going to cover. I mean, any other honorable mentions coming up in July is Silo. This will be season 3. We've talked about Silo before. Another great show on Apple. I hate to say it. There's another good one. So that drops like
Apple's
early July, right?
Yes, Silo is in July. I just did it in my news. Let me look up the date for you. Silo is July 3. Right before the 4th of July, and it sounds like they're gonna let us show us the before times. They're gonna show us how it all came to be, that these people were living in silos.
Interesting. Yeah, no, it's a good show. That is based on a series of books, I believe. So right here we're almost at the end of the hour. What do you guys? Anybody watching anything that maybe haven't mentioned?
Midnight Mass or Mass at Midnight? I don't remember which way it goes. And is anybody watching Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen, which is
I don't generally watch horror. It's not usually my thing.
I don't generally either. Not usually my thing, although I'm cool with Widow's Bay because it technically is horror, but it's funny horror, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's not really horror. It is, but it is. Yeah, it's got a good twist to it. We were watching some other stuff on Prime, not sci-fi. Citadel, which is a very spy thriller.
Citadel is a good one.
Which took another one that was like a huge break. It was like 3 years between seasons for some reason.
Citadel don't know why. Weird. And now that they're back, they're different. Like I feel like the Citadel before and the Citadel now are different.
Yeah, it's a little different. I love Tucci there, which is
the show we are watching right now that is not science fiction is this thing called Industry. Oh my God. This is horrible people doing horrible things, and it is riveting. It's like, it was snorting coke and shorting things and making millions of dollars and screwing other people over and doing more coke. Like,
it's kind of like it was like if you've ever seen I think it was on Hulu, which was the docudrama about the opioid epidemic called Dope Sick.
Yep.
What a great series, but man, you will be so enraged.
Yes.
You will want to, drug companies would, those people were horrible. Horrible.
I will never take another drug again.
I know, right? So, Bill says, I watch horror, I watch the news. That's becoming comedy, is what it's just it's becoming fantasy, Bill. It's not even horror. It's just
satire sometimes.
It's something, I don't know what it is, but yeah, anyway, so I'm trying to think what else we've been watching. I think we covered pretty much what we covered is probably what I watched.
We nailed it. Actually, let me look at my watch list because I write
stuff down. Find on the CanuckaVision, there's a 24/7 Top Gear channel. So that's my go-to. That's my go-to.
Top Gear or American Top Gear?
British Top Gear, the original Top Gear.
The good Top
Gear. Good stuff. And it goes way back to the early 2000s. Like they're literally showing like somebody with a flip phone.
Excellent.
So it's like, it's really.
Oh, you know what else I'm watching from? I've talked about this on this show before. I'm watching this show called From, and it's a little bit horror, fantasy horror. But it's quite good. You'd probably be okay with it. It's a little bit slow, but it's quite good. So yeah, that's another one that
it's not dark, is it? Like dark?
It's daylight and they run around outside a lot. So
no, I mean the show Dark.
Oh, Dark? No. Well, no, it's not like Dark. But you know what? Dark. There's another show called 1899 that I want to check out.
It only lasted 1 season, and Dark? It was apparently the 1899. It's the same people that made Dark, and apparently, and it was apparently it was bad enough that it barely made the 1 season, and they were like, nope.
See, really,
watch it. Like, I didn't watch it because I couldn't deal with another Dark.
Yeah, like Dark was hard. Dark was hard. Yeah, someone else was like, it's even more convoluted than Dark, and I was like, well, I better write that.
Oh yeah, no, I can't. That one,
$18.99.
I'll tell you, if you have, I told you, if you have a problem with insomnia, watch Dark, and it will cure your insomnia.
I
Because
don't
I
see.
used
To
to
me,
go out like a light every time I
I
watched
found
it.
it riveting because I was always like, "What the hell is going?"
The
She's
first couple
talking to
seasons were
her
okay, but they
own
started to get.
granddaughter. Like she's talking to her own. She is her own
I know, because
granddaughter.
it was
Where's
this
that
weird.
kid?
But the thing with that was, it was the whole weird thing with. It wasn't just time travel; it was time travel within, and then within traveling between different dimensions.
Yes,
So it was
yes.
like
So
this
different time
interdimensional
streams.
time travel thing that was like,
And he meets his future self, and he meets his past. Like it got so convoluted. You needed to have a scorecard to keep up. So of course I'm gonna watch 1899 because I gotta know.
well,
I
you
gotta
watch
see
it,
it.
but I know it. When it came out, people were like, "Nope."
I've got something on here called the Archive 81. I don't know what that is. I've got something on here called the Outsiders. I don't know what that is either.
No, no.
So there's lots of good stuff out there. I
Yeah,
can't. Yeah.
we're in a good way. But if it's really, I tell you, if you have to buy one streaming service, I would buy Apple.
Yeah.
And
You know
honestly, I
what?
was almost this close to dumping Netflix, and then I came across the Burrows show. Because really there wasn't anything else good on Netflix for me. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of stick to just a few of those channels. I dump some, partially because they keep raising prices,
yeah,
and partially
yeah.
because I had reasons. So
Bill's Bill's asking if Top Gear is considered reality TV, or were they faking it? I'm like a little column A, a little column B. There's a great book, Bill. If you want to learn more about Top Gear and the making of the original show, Andy Wilmans, the guy that was the producer, has a book called My Motoring Adventures. Highly recommend it.
My
It's
Motoring
excellent,
Adventures
and
with
I highly
Brian,
recommend the
Jeremy,
audio
and Richard.
version because he reads it. So you have to hear it in the British accent. So he goes through the whole thing from the beginning of how when they took over Top Gear, because Top Gear was a show before him and Clarkson and all them got into, and it was just a BBC show, and they took it and completely turned it into what we know. And it's this whole path, and it goes all the way through the Prime, Amazon Prime show Grand Tour right to the end. So highly recommend the book. I do recommend, if you're going to do it, buy the audiobook. On that note,
just watch Top Gear. It's so good.
It is really good. Even if you're not into cars, it's funny as hell. Especially the later episodes when they do their
trip. It is so funny. But watch the episode on, I want to say it was a Dodge Viper, where Jeremy is just going off on the Viper and like, it was made in Kentucky in like and it's
yeah.
He's like,
well, there's
got like an axe instead of like he's so funny the way he describes the Viper.
Yeah, again, they all were writers before they were on the show. They're all automobile, like for magazines and stuff. So that's why they have, but yeah, it even explains how Clarkson ended up with the Clarkson's Farm, which is also a very good show on Prime. It's him basically. If you like Jeremy Clarkson, you'll love this show because it's him bumbling around in a giant tractor. Of course, they had to buy one that was way too big than what he needed, the whole 9 yards. But it is a serious show in the sense that he's really trying to make his farm that he bought work.
I found it. So Clarkson, it does work. Clarkson he says the Viper was built in a shed by 17 men who raided a Chrysler parts bin. Its massive engine was borrowed from a heavy-duty truck, the wheels from some pickup, and the body was famously styled by Lamborghini. Comforts: it has no roof, no exterior door handles, and no windows. It's about as comfortable as falling down a flight of stairs. The driving experiences: you don't drive this car, you just hang on. Like he's just so funny the way
they're usually pretty harsh on American muscle cars.
Very, yeah.
They usually Hammond's the only one that really likes American muscle cars, so be it. All right, but they all have good shows, by the way. Clarkson has good shows on Prime, and so does as a Captain Slow there.
And Brian May is quite a character unto himself.
James May.
James May. Wait, not James. Hang on.
James May as in Clarkson, May, and Hammond.
No, not American Top Gear. British Top Gear.
James May. It's James May.
Is it James? No, Brian. Oh, and you know what else? The Stig. Every single episode. The Stig.
The Stig, which they explain how they came up with that in the book. how the name
good.
came and what they originally were going to call it. And then again, there was a whole thing with that. Yeah. So it's interesting. Read the book. It's great. If you like Top Gear, read that book. So anyway, what's Roy got going on?
Oh, I don't know. Here, let me look.
Oh, I don't
Roy
know.
is celebrating the anniversary of Ross joining the show. It has been 6 years since Ross joined the show. So they're going to be looking together at the 1979 Italian film called The Humanoid, which is a ripoff of Star Wars. Phil will be on the radio all day tomorrow. He'll be filling in for Dennis McNamara starting at 11. Then he'll do the Bill McNulty show at lunch. He's engineering for Steve Matteo from 2 to 4. And then at 4, he has Captain Phil's Planet, which will bring us more prog rock. So, you know what he's doing from 2 to 4? They're interviewing a candidate for Brookhaven's first congressional district. So for those of you from Brookhaven who are interested in politics, that's the show to watch. And then, of course, Friday night, he has Friday Night Freeform. I
was going to ask Phil if he does allows phone-in requests for music during his show.
He
remember that? No, I know. I just remember that when you were a kid, though, you'd call a radio station.
Yeah.
I don't think that that doesn't happen anymore because it's all pre-programmed and there's nobody actually there.
Sort of yes and sort of no. I mean,
well, no, not Phil, but I remember right here in like locally, I knew one of the DJs. He's like, yeah, I do. I record like half my shows and then they just play them. And they have somebody just inserting the ads. So all he's doing is the breaks. And they have somebody just computer. They just throw it up.
That's what Phil says. I'm engineering. Maybe that's what he's doing.
No, it's all. There's hardly anything live anymore.
Inserting the breaks.
Hell, the local one went over it. You could tell it's AI. Like literally the voice is that AI voice that you hear on a lot of the TikTok videos.
I would turn that off so fast. Like,
I don't listen to terrestrial radio anyway, so I don't care. All right. Next week we are doing God knows what.
I asked for sneakers, you guys. I just wanted to change the page.
I don't know. You guys want to do sneakers? I mean, I just don't know if I have an hour of sneakers. It's kind of dated.
It's oddly dated and yet also 90s. Oddly kind of. I just you know why I asked for it because I just watched it recently and it kind of stands up. Like I thought it was good. So.
I have not seen it probably in decades. It wasn't. I remember I liked it when I saw it.
It was good. This is Robert Redford, Sidney Poitier, who I adore.
Yeah.
And James Earl Jones at the end. Joaquin.
I don't remember that. Rivers. I just remember. I remember.
Dan Aykroyd.
I see. Wow, you're losing me. Chris LaRoche says sneakers is really cool. So, I don't know. Well, I guess that's a vote for sneakers.
Okay. A vote. It's a vote. All right. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out as I always do on Monday afternoon.
When I'm annoyed because I don't want to watch a movie on Tuesday night.
Such a burden. Talk about first world problems.
I gotta watch a movie.
I have to watch a movie. He's making me watch a movie. Watch this. Watch it and have 1.5 speed.
I know, right?
All right, guys. On that note, we'll say good night. As always, live long and prosper, and may the force be with you. Always. Good night, folks.